first introduction come to computers, and today we'll discuss about the vague definition of what a computer is. Storing that data, and what we mean by accepting and processing, we're talking of binaries. Now, before we go deep into binaries, I'll start according to that definition of a computer. Now, this is a real world example of what a computer is. Now, this is a SIM card. With a SIM card, this is an example of a computer. That's why it's able to store your contact information and link you to other networks, service providers like something like Airtel or Safaricom. And also, as we progress up computers, we find something like a router. A router is also another example of a computer. It can store information such as MAC addresses of specific computers or even SSIDs. And also, further up the chain, we'll find something like a phone. Nowadays, phones have come a very long way. And what we mean by this is a typical phone can edit videos. With a desktop, the same happens to a phone. And also, as we go up the chain, we'll find something like a laptop. After a laptop, now we'll see a normal desktop. Now this is a desktop in form of a tower. And as we progress further, we get a workstation, and then we go to servers. Now today I want us to talk about desktops. This emblem on a power button, you'll find this on any power button. Basically, it has a 0 and a 1 for on and off, and we have two indicators. One is for hard disk processing, and the other one is, it will show if the computer is up. Also, we have two input devices. Here we have the mic and the headphones, a pair of 4 USB input, and now this will indicate the performance of the machine. This is the processor. This is basically an i3, and then this will basically show you the operating system that is currently in the machine, but you can upgrade. So today I want us to discuss also about the inputs devices and output devices. Now, when we talked about the definition of a computer, we talked about processing. Now, this is where the processor is located. This is a cool sink. It has some fins and a fan. That's how you determine where the processor is located in your machine. And this fan pulls in cold air from this side to cool the hot air that is coming from this processor underneath. And also this fan will direct that hot air now to the outside. These are what we call RAMs. I believe we can take a closer look at what a RAM looks like. Now, this is how RAM looks like. Now, this is a 2GB RAM stick. And away from the RAMs, we can see something like a CMOS battery. This is used to store data for BIOS. This is the motherboard. The motherboard is the one that interconnects each and every components of a computer. We have a power supply that now supplies power to different parts of the computer. And at the back, we can see some additional components. We have earphone and headphone. Also, we have, these are what we call the PS2 connectors. They currently have been deprecated because nowadays most of these input devices comes with USB standard. The purple one indicates connection for keyboard, and the green one indicates connection for a mouse. Now, the disadvantage of using a PS2 connectors is you had to restart your PC once you connected this device if the operating system was already up, unlike the USB components where they are usually plug and play. And this one and this one, this is what we call a VGA connection, and this is a display port. These are for outputting to your screen. Now, most of you probably have never seen a display port in action, but the advantage of using a display port over a VGA port is that you can be able to transport both audio and visual content to your screen, unlike the VGA that can only transport visual content. We have an Ethernet port. This is the one that you use to connect your computer to the internet. Now, underneath here you can see some slots. These slots are used in connecting additional components such as a graphics card. Now this is where you mount your something like a graphics card or a sound card or a video card, and this is where you connect. And with the tower you'll see some empty bays. This is where you can add an additional hard disk. This is the hard disk, and a hard disk can either be SATA connection or an ID. We'll talk about that later. Now we've come to our end of our session today, and I hope you enjoyed each and every part. And next time we'll do something deep. We'll cover things like operating system and advanced computing. So stay tuned.